Hello and welcome to the North Bank podcast. I'm your host, Holly. I'm joined by Stef. Hi, Stef.
Hello, how are you?
Serious stuff begins. Proper football's back. How you feeling?
Feeling good. Looking forward to it. The international break is a time of much anxiety about our players getting injured, so it's nice to have them back in a proper game.
It is normally a bit of an anxious time about our players getting injured.
Too true.
Having said that, two of them still did manage to get injured.
Yeah.
The only two that probably played. But anyway, we'll perhaps touch on that anon, perhaps. So today's show is going to be looking ahead to the Southampton game, maybe a look back at the Arsenal women yesterday against Chelsea, progressing into the semi-finals of the Champions League, which is fantastic. As ever, I throw out some questions at the start of each podcast that you at home can consider and think about, and we will discuss through the course of the show. In no particular order, who should start against Southampton tomorrow? Now, I know we've had a little bit of a tricky time trying to select 11 players, whilst not just picking 11 players to wind up every opposition fan after what's gone on in the international break. So that's the first question. Second question, 3 games in 8 days in 3 different tournaments. So to start us off with this run, which of those 3 games do you think is the most important? And then the final question. This is great. I love this stat. I stumbled across this, but there have been over 13,000 Premier League games so far, resulting in only 36 different results. Now, not so like 1-0 being one of the results, but 1-0 home and away is the same result. So 36 different results. 6 of those 36 have been unique scorelines. So they've only ever happened once. Arsenal have been involved in 2 of those unique scorelines.
Blimey.
What are they? So anyway, we'll come back to that. You can have a little think about that.
Yeah.
I just thought it was brilliant, and from Stats Dugout that I found this from. So shout out to those guys. But we'll come back to that. But before we look ahead to Arsenal-Southampton game at the weekend, Steph, you watched the Arsenal women in the Champions League quarter-final last night at Stamford Bridge, 3-1 up from the first leg. How was the game? Any takeaways from it? Did we deserve it?
Well, the takeaway is on the balance, yes, I think we did deserve it. I did miss the first sort of 20, 25 minutes through being too busy, but then watched it after that. And Helen in our Patreon was often sort of leaving a message about sort of what was going on in the game. And I don't know, when I started watching it, it just felt like very comfortable. It was a classic. We're 2 goals up from the first leg. We don't have to go chasing the game. We can just dig in. And I found that Chelsea, actually, there were a lot of comparisons to the League Cup ties that the men played in the semi-final of the League Cup, where. And I just envisaged Gary Neville watching last night and going, yeah, Chelsea have got them right where they want them. But actually, I don't think they went at them. When later on in the game, when they threw more at it, more caution to the wind and all those sorts of things, the game did stretch and Arsenal looked a little bit more vulnerable and Chelsea did get a goal. But actually, up until that point, Arsenal weren't really threatened. I thought it was quite good. That said, it should be sort of noted. For me, player of the match, Van Domselaar in goal. She made 3 or 4 world-class saves. I mean, they were brilliant saves, amazing saves, and deservedly won player of the match. But at the same time, Arsenal hit the post. Arsenal had a goal disallowed for offside, rightly for offside. So it wasn't like they didn't have chances either. And the big story coming away from it is the refereeing. Because Kate McCabe should have got a red card for a hair pull.
This is the thing that's been doing the rounds in media land.
And the reason it's blown up on social media is because Bonpastor, the Chelsea manager, she lost her head. She lost her head a little bit in the first game as well, because there was a couple of refereeing calls that she didn't necessarily agree with, goals disallowed when she thought they should have been. But I think where she sort of falls down a little bit is because, having watched both games, the referee made bad calls on both sides. There was a kung fu kick on our goalkeeper in the first game that could have easily elicited a red card. She's happy to not mention that at all when talking about the refereeing, and then ultimately has turned herself into a meme by in a post-match interview with one of the American broadcasters, I think it was, she's got her phone out and replayed the incident. And the problem is now people are just taking that image and putting all sorts of, ridiculous things up on the screen. And once you turn into a meme, it's hard to come back from that. Look at Amorim at United.
Well, I was going to say, it's something about Chelsea managers.
Well, LinkedIn Liam being one, it's going to be hard for him to be really taken seriously in the long term. So she had a point. Kate McCabe, Kate McCabe's come out and said, apologise, went to grab the shirt, grabbed her hair, totally accidental, it's fine. And she should have been sent off, but it's about the way you complain about it. And she ended up getting red carded.
Whereabouts in the game was that? Or when about?
Oh, really late on.
Had Chelsea scored their goal?
Can't remember off the top of my head, but it was around that time, basically. Might have made a slight difference. Chelsea only needed one more goal to get it to extra time. But I think on the balance of play, and that's not to say in the first game, Arsenal rode their luck a bit. Chelsea started really well at the Emirates and, again, hit the post, missed a couple of good chances. And it's always going to be a close game. And Arsenal were pretty ruthless with their finishing in the first game, and Chelsea just didn't create enough in the second. So, yeah, it is what it is. Arsenal move on. Champions League semi-finals. Happy days.
Who's the potential opponents? Wolfsburg and...
Bayern, Wolfsburg, Lyon. Unless I don't know what the seeding is like. I'm not ensconced in that world enough to know.
Did Manchester United lose there? I'm assuming they did.
To Bayern,
Yeah. Listen, I never tire of hearing of Chelsea's failings, and if they come against us, all the better. So.
And this is in the week that the men's team, I don't know whether they're fully seen as different operations, like financially, have posted a record loss, a record all-time loss, overtaking Man City from 2011. City, Chelsea, who would have thought?
What do they have in common?
Funny that. And this is after Chelsea sold themselves the women's team in order to kind of cover costs. So they obviously shows how much they really care about the women's team. But yeah, it's just a nonsense club.
It's funny now, now they can't fudge the books. The reality's hitting hard. I
hope so.
Just on the Chelsea, one thing that stuck out over the international break are the number of Chelsea players who are openly courting other teams.
Yes.
It's mental, like Cucurella and Maresca, Enzo Fernandez in midfield. Like, it's like, oh, stop it. Oh,
they
you flirt.
Out.
And they say that, LinkedIn Liam's a nice person, but they cannot understand why the club got rid of Maresca.
Yeah.
That, we had a plan. We had I'm a little bit, I hope they're fired up for their next game, Chelsea, because it is, oh no, it's not. It's FA Cup, isn't it? But then it'll be the league game.
Next league game, yeah.
The league game at home to Man City. So I hope
it's a shop window.
Yeah, for sure. For both clubs, in fact. Well, that's good. That's good. It's always good to start on a positive, and we haven't had any Arsenal men's football the last couple of weeks, but we do on Saturday away at Southampton, FA Cup quarter-final, 8 p.m. kickoff. You're going, aren't you?
I am going. Can't wait.
Nice late return home for you.
It's going to be ridiculous. I mean, there is a real argument. I don't know why it's at that time. I know Man City, Liverpool is the lunchtime kickoff, 8 o'clock. At 8 o'clock when we then play Tuesday in Portugal, just seems like, I don't know. It's all for TV, isn't it? But I'll still be there.
Southampton also play on Tuesday, so it's the same for both teams.
Of course, those Championship have, because it's Easter, don't they? Because they've got a round of fixtures tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah. We're recording this on Thursday afternoon, lunchtime-ish. But on Southampton, they're sixth in the Premier League. No, they're not. They're trying to get to the Premier League. They're sixth in the Championship, which is the final playoff place. They are ahead of Wrexham on goal difference, about 7 or 8 goal difference. Who do they play on Tuesday, Steph?
Is it Wrexham by any chance?
It is Wrexham away.
Woohoo! Big game.
Okay, and I think that it's worth noting because I think that will impact their team selection.
Yeah.
Because their next game is home to Derby. Who's the next team below them in the league table?
It's not Derby, is it?
It is Derby, yeah. How did you guess?
Blimey.
So their next 2 games are against the teams directly below them in the table. Now, because Southampton are playing in the FA Cup this weekend, I haven't looked to see who Wrexham and Derby are playing in the Championship. But presumably, if Wrexham just get a point in whatever game they've got, they go above Southampton. Southampton will actually probably drop out of the playoff place in the Championship this weekend through their inaction in the league. So their priority, surely, is not an FA Cup quarter-final. As glamorous a tie as it is under the lights at St Mary's, for sure, will, what's the word, not pragmatism kick in and think, well, oh, do you know what, this would be great? Or will they think, do you know, we beat Fulham away in the previous round, this will be a hell of a scup. And they're unbeaten in the last 14 games. They're on a great run, including winning away at Coventry, who are running away with the league again, but they won away at Coventry. I'm unsure. I mean, I had to look at their team selection. I don't know many of their players. They sold, was it Adam Armstrong to Wolves in January, I think, and he's still their top scorer. They've got Finn Azaz, who played the full 120 minutes for the Republic of Ireland against Czechia. So not how motivated. He'll be knackered, but he'll be quite dejected as well. But I guess, and we'll talk about a couple of our players as well who had similar heartbreak in the World Cup qualifiers. It might be the best thing might be to get back on the horse, so to speak, and just get playing football again. So I don't really know anything else about their team. Again, they're on a great run. The current manager's kind of transformed them because they started this season with was it Will Still?
Yep,
the guy
who came
who
up
made
through
a
France,
name in France,
football manager.
And then they got rid of him. He had a poor start, and they've turned it around and have become quite free scoring and reasonably tight defensively and on a fantastic run. And to me, Southampton are a Premier League club. I just associate them with the Premier League. It would be nice to see them back up. I'm not sure they'll prioritise our game. I don't know. But, they're not to be taken lightly. Flynn Downs, the only thing I could find is that he's suspended for the game. He picked up a second yellow card in the Fulham game, so he's suspended. How are you feeling about the game and the opposition, I guess, but our approach to it as well? Or their approach first?
Because of a few notable results against Southampton, I'm always wary. They took points off us in both games, 22-23, when we started the season so well, pushing for the title.
Was it 3-3 at the Emirates?
Something like that, I think it was. Yeah, absolutely. So they, and then there was the famous Boxing Day 4-0 when we lost to them. There was the New Year's Day when Chesney was smoking in the showers, having been sent off. There's a few sort of standout things against Southampton. So as much as I think I agree with you that I do see them as a Premier League club. I won't be too disappointed if they weren't to make it, but that's out of respect for the fact that they've had quite a few good results against us. Look, it's one we should be confident about, but I think it's all about who we've got available, how we approach the game. We've got players who were never going to international duty because they were carrying knocks. We've got a couple of long-term absentees now. We've got others who, very notably in the press especially, did withdraw because of fatigue, and their international managers had, believe it or not, common sense to see that in the long term a rest might be better for them. Unbelievable that. It'll never catch on. And then there are other people who had, like you say, they played but might have been disappointed, or they played and they're absolutely elated. So how you find a mix in that balance, I don't envy Arteta this weekend in trying to make that all work. It's going to be a hard one to predict.
Well, the international withdrawals is interesting. We've copped a lot, or Arteta's copped a lot of stick, or the club's copped a lot of stick. We don't make the decision.
Nope.
Once the players go, the international managers or medical staff, they make the decision, obviously in conversation, in discourse with the players themselves. The injury situation, Madueke is supposedly looking to be back for the Sporting game.
Yeah.
Eze, probably a little bit more long-term than that. Not long-term as such, but more likely to be back for the City game. So he'd missed the two Sporting games and the Bournemouth game, and he's earmarking the City game.
What's that, 2.5 weeks?
Yeah, so it was 4 weeks.
Right.
A
Start of
4-week
the
layoff,
break.
but yeah.
Okay.
And Hincapié, again, more of a precautionary thing, not expected to be beyond a couple of games he'll miss. Calafiori obviously played 120 minutes and still lost for Italy. And ordinarily, I'd say, look, get him back in the team, get him playing football again. But because of his injury record, I really don't want to see him start this game. Who else? Norgard hasn't played a lot of minutes, but he will also be disappointed. And I think he's a shoo-in for this game, provided he's not injured or mentally not in the right place. But I can't imagine that. I think he'll be desperate to play. That's the best way of dealing with that disappointment is to get on. As disappointing as it is for him on a personal level, there's plenty more professionally and personally to look forward to in the remaining. We've got a minimum of 10 games left this season. We could have a maximum of 15 games, all going well. I think then Timber and Ødegaard were almost 50-50 for the cup final squad, so presumably they'll be okay for this weekend. Whether they play or not is another thing. I think out of the two of them, I'd be angling for Ødegaard to start the game over Timber, just to get him, let him play 60 minutes or just the first half. Just get him back up and more minutes against Sporting, and we need especially in the absence of Eze, we really do need Ødegaard there. Internationals as well should have a shout out to Myers Lewis Skelly, played in midfield against. For the under-21s, and he set up both goals for Wanieri, I think, or 2 goals for Wanieri.
I know Wanieri scored as well, and that loan is looking more and more of an
we could do with him.
We could definitely do with Wanieri.
But maybe only for the Southampton game.
I get it.
If Ødegaard is back and he's getting more minutes, he's getting more game time, more experience where he is. So long-term, maybe it's beneficial. I do want to see Myers Lewis Skelly play for us in midfield. And I say that and immediately reserve the right to contradict myself by picking him at left back for Saturday.
But it's like you say, it's who else is available. When Hincapié is limping off for Ecuador and when Calafiori goes into extra time, we might not.
Yeah,
have
we
much
don't
choice.
have another. He is our third choice left back. So if those two out for whatever reason, then it is him playing at left back. Yeah. Max Diamond obviously played for the under-19s against Portugal. England won 6-0 and. The first 3 goals, he assisted 2 of them and scored. Now, please tell me you've seen the goal he scored.
Can't not see it. Like, everyone was resharing it. What is it? Wins the ball in his own half, dribbles past 2 or 3 players, and then as soon as he just gets to around the inside of the penalty box, drills it home. Brilliant goal.
PlayStation goal. It was like someone was controlling him. The ball. Not drawing any comparisons with Messi at all, but that was a good goal.
Ball sticks to his feet.
Yeah, well, that was the idea.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, in terms of team selection, I know you've struggled with this.
Very.
Do you want to go with Chris's or do you want to throw out your thinking? Or
Well, can I throw out my silly one that I shared with you and Chris earlier? This would be the one to really annoy all the right people if we lined up with Kepa, White, Saliba, Gabriel, Myers Lewis Skelly, Ødegaard, Zubamendi, Rice, Saka, Gyökeres, Trossard. So that's most of, because I know Eze's like a slightly longer term injury. But if Rice and Saka rocked up against Southampton, that would just be amazing. Let alone Saliba and Gabriel as well. That's not the team that I've gone with. I'll start with mine and then I'll go with Chris's. I think we are slightly similar with 1 or 2 key differences. I've got Kepa in goal, cup keeper. If he gets us to the final, I'm all for it. If he plays in the final, we'll have a conversation about that again. Back 4. Timber, Mosquera, Calafiori, Lewis Skelly. My argument is this. Timber over White, because White played more in the international break, and we overplayed him before when White had a setback with injury as well. So that would be my concern. Mosquera, fine. He did make his debut for Spain, I believe, over the international break. Did pretty well. Just a little nod to Spain's kit that they were wearing, because it had very similar shades to the one that I'm wearing. And for anyone not watching and listening, I'm wearing our white third kit, and the Spain kit, I assume it's their away kit, was very similar to this, and it's a bit of a peach. I've got Calafiori at centre back mainly because I don't want Saliba and Gabriel there.
120 minutes for Italy.
I know, but I want Saliba and Gabriel against
He's
Sporting.
so delicate.
Oh no, I know. I'm just hoping that it won't be as intense a game. I don't know. And then Lewis Skelly at left back because, like you say, we haven't got much else. Midfield 3, Odegaard. Tried finding out all sorts of injury. Midfield 3, Odegaard, Norgard, Havertz. Havertz did play for Germany, did well, got a penalty, hooked after 60 minutes, so he shouldn't be feeling too much burnout. I think he's okay to start. Norgard, definitely. Every report I read, and I couldn't find any hard evidence, it's all conjecture really, but everyone, like you said, Odegaard was 50-50 for the cup final, therefore that little bit of rest, his Norway coach said it's better that you're just training with Arsenal, there's no need to push yourself, and then we'll see how he does in the Southampton game. And we can then line up differently with Rice, with Zubamendi for Sporting. And then a front three, I've got Dauman, Jesus, Martinelli. Dauman, again, rest Saka, save him for Lisbon. Dauman did brilliant for the England under-19s. Give him a go. Jesus, again, it's about... Gyökeres played 2 games, World Cup qualifiers. Now, he'll be walking on air, having scored the winner to put Sweden to the World Cup.
After scoring the hat-trick.
After scoring a hat-trick in the first... Yeah, exactly. But at the same time, it's a lot of minutes. We need him elsewhere. And then I've gone with Martinelli. Scored for Brazil. Brazil didn't play in Brazil.
In America, but he did have a transatlantic flight back. He was the last one to play. Right. So he'll have got back this morning.
But I didn't know who else to put because Trossard's, there's a question mark over his fitness, and beyond that, it's difficult. So I've gone with Martinelli. This is the most unsure I've felt picking a team all season. No idea.
Chris.
Oh, Chris's is in a different window. Hold on. It is... where is it? Here. Kepa in goal. He's gone White, Mosquera, Gabriel, Lewis Skelly. Presumably he thinks Calafiori, 120 minutes, can't do it. Midfield 3 of Odegaard, Norgard and Rice. I just don't see Rice starting. And then a front 3 of Saka, Havertz and Trossard. I just don't see Saka and Rice starting, but I mean, that's a great team. But yeah, interesting. What about you?
Well, okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. I've gone for my 5th option at right back. This is how. So I started off with White. I actually ended up with White back at right back. I started with White, crossed him out, put down Salmon. Crossed him out, put down Mosquera. Crossed him out, put down Dixon because he came on at right back against Mansfield, Wigan. Who was it? Last game, Mansfield. And then I put Mosquera, but then I thought, okay, think about centre backs. So I've actually gone for Ben White at right back, the original one. Mosquera and Gabriel. I've matched Chris with that, and Lewis Skelly at left back. Okay. Kepa in goal.
Yeah.
My midfield, and I think the rest of my team. No. Is almost the same as yours. Right. Norgard, Odegaard and Havertz as the midfield 3. Yeah, and Dauman and Jesus. And I have gone for Trossard just because of the travelling involved for Marcelli. But Marcelli did score, so he will be confident. So I don't mind either or. And I don't know. I mean, Trossard did play in the cup final. So... Yeah, but... It's like... So I don't mind. I mean, again, we don't really have an alternative. There's no one on the bench. I had that Ibrahim's been kicking around the cup squads, and he's played some minutes as well. But he's a central midfielder, so you'd have him alongside Norgard, for example, if you wanted to rest. If the likes of Odegaard couldn't, maybe we take a reasonably healthy lead, and he comes on for the last 30 minutes. Because he's more of a defensive, although he does run and break the lines, Ibrahim, from the clips I've seen of him doing the rounds for the youth teams.
Okay.
Yeah. Can I just read out Gunner Blog? I just had Gunner Blog's team. It was one of the last things I saw before we started recording. He put out his team. He's gone Kepa in goal. White, Mosquera, Gabriel, Lewis Skelly, Norgard, Havertz, Odegaard, Dauman, Jesus, and Martinelli. So I've got the same team as Gunner Blog apart from Martinelli and Trossard, the difference there. So we're kind of, I mean, Chris has gone for Rice and Saka, and I can't see it, and I don't want to see it. I want them with an extra few days for Sporting away.
Yes.
And Gyökeres will start against his own team.
Oh, absolutely.
His old team away in Lisbon. So what's your score prediction and Chris's?
Chris has gone 2-0 to the Arsenal. And I've gone 1-0 to the Arsenal.
Okay. I mean, a team with Kepa in goal, Mosquera, White, Gabriel and Lewis Skelly with Norgard in front of them is a pretty solid defensive team.
Yep.
So I've gone for 2-1 Arsenal. I just always see us conceding a goal, but
I think they're very good defensively and they'll concede. Brilliant.
Yeah, just in case. So
but it's about. I mean, it's such a weird one to be coming back to a cup match after the international break, because everyone talks about finding that rhythm after an international break. You'll have players in very different situations to how they maybe left the international break, whether they are full of energy and full of confidence, or whether they may have dipped ever so slightly. And because it's a cup game and there is that natural rotation, people will argue that it's about prioritising. Although we're still picking a very good team, we've stacked our squad to try and compete on all these different fronts. So it's still a very good team, but it's a team. I mean, saying that, we could have a whole podcast about what's our best team, and in terms of rhythm and form, actually, we've been sort of struggling for that for a few months now.
We could probably all agree on a back four and a midfield three, and then come a cropper in the front three.
Absolutely, yeah. So, it's going to be a funny one, like finding that rhythm. Because I considered Salmon at the back.
Yeah, I had him. He's one of my names, but he started on the right side of the back three
at Mansfield. And it
then
didn't really work.
No, because he changed. Did he use who got injured? Trossard. Trossard got injured in the first half, and he used that substitution to change the formation.
Yeah,
and then Salmon was partly culpable for the Mansfield goal. Although I still have issues with Mosquera's role and probably Kepa's role in that as well. But
it's a funny one.
Okay, well, I'm pretty conclusive. We all think we'll win, but not a landslide victory. It'll be quite tight. No. Okay, so the second question I posed at the start was, 3 games in 8 days, 3 different competitions. Which one of those is most important to you?
Bournemouth. Easy.
Okay, so that's if I said to you, you could only win one of them. Which one do you want to win? Then your answer's Bournemouth. Yeah.
Holly hypotheticals.
But isn't it important? I mean, first of all, how long ago does that cup final feel? Like, it doesn't feel like a week and a half ago.
No, it feels like a month.
Another lifetime ago.
Yeah. Which is good, because we were saying at the time, part of you wants to get back on the horse and just get it out of your system. But then at the same time, I feel like whatever. It's like it's gone. It's so far away now.
Right. So with what you just said in mind, isn't it really important that we win the next game? I know that's so...
Sure, of course it is. But at the same time, I want to win the league.
No. If you offer me one win from the next 3 games, it's Bournemouth for sure.
Yeah.
Like all day long for me.
Because a defeat in the first leg against Sporting might not be terminal.
No,
that'll be true. Obviously, a defeat in Southampton, it's a one-off game that can happen.
But then we'll see Southampton drawn against Man City in the semi-final or Chelsea, and we'll think, we got away with
that. Well, I'm hoping that they'll get drawn against Liverpool or Port Vale, but we'll see.
Yeah, true. Then I'd be annoyed we lost to Southampton.
Oh, how the football fan's brain works.
It's exhausting.
It is exhausting. This is why we look like this. I'm actually 22.
I just turned 23. I know. I'm not even joking. So, okay, Bournemouth is the most important of the next 3 games. And we've got Sporting away on Tuesday. Nice little break before Bournemouth games at 12. Is it lunchtime kickoff on the Saturday?
Yeah, it is.
And then City go to Chelsea the next day.
When am I going to sleep? and I'm doing all 3 of those games, and I'm going to be very, very tired.
You're not going to Sporting.
Yeah, Sporting away.
Oh, it's still half term. It's still Easter holidays, isn't it?
Easter holidays. I'm there.
Wait, when are you going to sleep?
I don't know.
On the plane.
Yeah, but I'm a nervous flyer.
Oh, yeah. It's
The
too early to
adrenaline
drink
will
as
keep
well.
me awake. Well, as soon as we land, we've got a connection bus up to Lisbon, so I will
Take a
definitely
Quell.
sleep.
I found
okay.
Quells. Take a Quell. There you go. Other travel tablets do exist, I think.
But if Quell do want to sponsor the North
Quells
Bank
wants to
podcast,
get in touch. I take it for the boat crossing the Irish Sea because it gets a bit choppy, but inadvertently found something that just knocks me out after an hour of taking it.
Nice.
Which is great until you're in the car, you take your Quell waiting to board the boat, and then you get notification that you're going to be delayed an hour and a half, at which point you're thinking, oh crap, I'll still be in the car when this kicks in. Might not make it onto the boat, but anyway, that's another story.
Yeah, I think that's a different podcast.
That's a different podcast indeed. Do you want to go back to this stats dugout?
This
guide?
is amazing. Well done,
love
Stat
this.
Dad, by the way. That
Sorry?
is amazing. Well done, Stat Dad.
Yeah, I think so. I love this. Right. So there have been over 13,200 and something Premier League games.
Forever.
And in all of those games, there have only ever been 36 different scorelines.
Okay.
Now, for this purpose, a 1-0 home or away, there's no distinction between home and away. It's a 1-0 scoreline, okay?
Right, okay.
So you don't reverse it. If you do those home and away different scorelines, I think there's over 60 different scorelines then. But it is, a 1-0 home win, 1-0 away win is par for the course. It's all the same. So there have been 36 different scorelines. Out of those 36, there have been 6 unique scorelines. So a scoreline that has only happened once. I'll give you one of those 6. Can you remember? And it's because one of those 6 is also the last time a unique scoreline happened, and it happened 13 years ago. Any ideas?
13 years. Oh, 8-2.
No. 13 years ago. Didn't involve Arsenal, this one.
13 years ago is 20.
But it was a final game of a season, and it was...
5-5.
Yes, 5-5.
Was it Fergie's last game?
Yeah, Fergie's last ever game away at West Brom.
Did Lukaku score for West Brom that day?
Not
I think
sure.
He did. 5-5. There you
So
go.
that is the last time we had a unique scoreline in the Premier League, 13 years ago.
What?
So there are 5 other unique scorelines. Can you name them? But mainly I'm looking for the 2 Arsenal ones. Arsenal involved in 2. You have actually just named one of them.
8-2.
Yeah, 8-2.
Yeah.
At Old Trafford. So you've got the 5-5. You've got the
I'm trying to
8-2.
think of Arsenal ones. We had... Was it 7-1 or 6-1 at Everton?
That's happened a lot.
That must have happened before.
That scoreline's happened a lot.
So then
yeah.
I'm thinking we had those... we had a 6-3 against Man City.
Not one of them. I don't remember
Not
a
one of them?
6-3.
I remember a 6-3.
Can I give you... Before the Arsenal one, though, here's this one, right? This is a kind of a... The same club...
Right, you give me the score and I'll try and guess.
No. The same club had 2 unique scorelines and were relegated in the same season. So the same
Wigan.
club... Not Wigan.
Oh.
Think, a club in the south, not London.
Bournemouth.
No, not that far south. If you're driving from London to Bristol, to South Wales, you'll go past this.
Swindon?
Not very close. A bit nearer London, I think.
Oh, for God's sake. Reading.
Reading, right. So
Right,
Reading are
Reading.
responsible for 2 of these score lines in the same season they got relegated.
I can't remember any daft... Oh, was there a 7-5?
No, we beat them 7-5, but that was in the League Cup. Yeah. There's I'll
They
give you
did have
their
a stupid game.
They lost 6-4 at Spurs and 7-4 at Portsmouth and were relegated in the same season. But you're looking for 2 more unique scorelines, one involving Arsenal, the other one not. Well, actually, the other one involving our North London rivals.
So there was a Tottenham one?
Yeah.
Well, was that not 9-1?
That was 9-1, yeah, against...
Wigan?
Yeah, that's right. Well done.
I knew that
And
one.
the Arsenal one now.
So there's an Arsenal unique score.
Yeah.
Oh.
You will know it.
Well, yeah.
Obviously you'll know it, but it's
We've had a big win against Borough. We had No, I'm struggling.
It's a home game.
Home game. Okay.
I'm trying to give you clues that don't immediately
But don't just give it away. Yeah.
Home game. The team we played against are still in the Premier League.
Are they?
They're not. They're underperforming this season, measured against expectation. Definitely.
7-3 Newcastle.
That's the one.
Yes!
I was going to say Theo Walcott goal, but that's the one he slalomed through the Newcastle defence into the box. And
nice. So how many were there, did you say?
That's 6 unique scorelines.
5-5, so that's...
Is that 6? Well, that's all I've got. 9-1 Spurs, 5-5 United, the 2 Reading ones, and the 2 Arsenal ones.
Nice. What a stat.
Isn't it?
That is so good.
Stats Dugout on TikTok it came up, and they've not got a lot of followers.
Yeah.
I think they do long form videos as well, but to be fair, they didn't have a link in their bio to a YouTube channel, so I then couldn't be bothered to search through YouTube. I will do at some point, but that was good. So I'm not claiming that one myself, but
that's fine. That's good.
The algorithm knows I like my stats. Clearly, keep sending them my way. But there you go. Right, I'm out. Any final words of wisdom and encouragement as we head into this mammoth, potentially decade-defining run-in?
I mean, it is literally, the final international break is out of the way. We've only got a handful of league games to go. We're still in the Champions League. We've got a FA Cup quarter-final this weekend. It's, like you say, could be era-defining.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether to embrace it or bury my head in the sand a little bit. Because I'm glad I am on holidays and I've got some nice distractions at the moment. But Saturday, when I'm getting picked up and we go down on the minibus with a load of mates, it's going to be it's going to be kicking in. It starts. Nice big allocation. There'll be plenty of Arsenal fans there.
Listen, this is what if there's ever any hesitation in how to view this, just go back 4 seasons. We're finishing, consecutive 8th place finishes.
Right. Well, on that, I meant to do this at the start. I also just wanted to send an apology to anyone who listened to our international break Arsenal Banter 11 episode, because we had a few messages on our socials saying, thanks for the pod, but I am suffering slightly from PTSD now, as we reminded them of, some of the shocking players and periods of our history.
Yeah,
I know you, by the end of it, was basically traumatized as well.
No, I didn't like it at all.
But I just want to remind you, I should hopefully make us more appreciative of what we've got now, because none of the players we've currently got are getting into any kind of banter 11. We're built out of steel, and we've got some silk to go with it as well, and we're on the cusp of doing good things.
See, I've taken hold of my head again, like as you mentioned, but because somebody did point out that they were surprised that we hadn't given an honourable mention to David Luiz, and I think
they called it a dishonourable mention.
Dishonourable, which I think is, but I hadn't even thought of him.
That's how banterific our 11 was.
Am I wrong? Am I wrong in thinking that he did play particularly well in the FA Cup final?
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah, 2020. Yeah, I mean, he had his moments. Like, it's just what he represented. Another player, silly hair from Chelsea.
He reminded me of Screech.
Yeah.
And that's not a good thing.
It's not a good
as
thing.
A footballer.
Saved by the bell. Wow.
Right. Okay. Well, in any sense, we are on the cusp of something pretty, I don't know, phenomenal. I don't know. It could be amazing. I just wanted to end with at least the Premier League trophy. Is that too much to what? From the position we're in now, like 9 points clear with a game more played, 7 games left. Come on. It's Well, we will never have a better chance to win our first league title in 20 plus years. So come on. And the FA Cup is a nice distraction along the way. How privileged we are.
I know.
Anyway, cheers for the chat. Cheers for watching. Cheers for listening. Enjoy the next couple of days. And then, bring the noise when it all kicks off on Saturday. Cheerio. Bye-bye.
See ya.
The North Bank, an Arsenal podcast. Subscribe, rate and review on your app and find us on your socials at North Bank Pod. Email hello@thenorthbankafc.com and check out our website, thenorthbankafc.com. Produced by the Podcast Company.